Alrighty, welcome back to the stream, and welcome back to another MonDEMOS, where today we're going to be taking a look at a bunch of games that are recently released, some demos, and everything in between. And by that, I really just mean it's those two things. So, got a couple choices here today. Some relatively long ones, so I think I'm going to get the long one done first, because I can at least plan around that one, and I'm going to try and cap myself to an hour for this, max. Because I have a feeling it's going to be a lengthy one, just a feeling. Alright, so the first game we're going to be trying out today is one that was mentioned to me during another stream, and it sounded very interesting. It's sort of a trading game mixed with Oregon Trail, kind of traveling from one location to another in like a post-apocalypse, but it's also got sort of a Roman Empire kind of aesthetic going for it. Seems like a very interesting mix, and there is a free demo for this one on Steam. By free demo, I mean like it's a prologue kind of thing. It's its own separate free, like cut down version opening act of the game. Called, boy, this one takes a while to load. Give it a minute. It's also dead silent, completely silent, no sound at all. Yeah, anyway, I have a feeling this is going to be a lengthy one, so I'm going to cap myself at an hour for this. It's really taking a minute here, huh? Alright, let me just double check what this one's called as opposed to the full game. So if I go to the store... So the full game, okay, it is just Vagrus. So the full game is Vagrus the Riven Realms, and the demo is Riven Realms Prologue, which is the prologue. Interesting to note, though, the prologue has a much lower score. I think it's mixed on Steam, whereas the full game is very positive, so keep that in mind. Yeah, so Vagrus the Riven Realms is still in development. So there will be bugs, missing content, and unfinished features. In this demo, you can play the Pilgrims of the Wasteland standalone story up until the 4th checkpoint, and also get a taste of the open world main campaign, create your own Vagrus, and play the first 25 turns. 25? Huh. Vagrus is a game that involves a fair amount of reading, if it's to be enjoyed and experienced as intended by the developers. It's also a game where success is by no means guaranteed. You will probably lose everything several times before getting the hang of leading your traveling company. Vagrus, adventurer, vagabond captain, the leader of a comitatus, an armed traveling company. It usually carries cargo and passengers across the wastelands of the continent. It can get involved in a variety of jobs ranging from trading to mercenary work. Do I click something? There we go.
The River Realms, they call it. What a fine poetic name for something as rotten and twisted as our land has become. It was not always so. Long ago, the old empire, the noblest and most enduring society created by humankind, spanned almost the entire continent of Zerine, the cradle of man. But after several millennia of progress and incomparable achievements, inevitably, the empire began to fall into stagnation and decadence. desperately holding on to their privileges and resisting change while trying to avert the collapse of the realm. The Emperor and his theocracy took to measures that were worthy of true despots in cruelty. Subjugating weaker realms, enslaving whole nations, strip mining foreign resources, oppressing imperial citizens, war on several fronts, genocide. Eventually, the gods could no longer tolerate such horrors wrought in their name. Foretold by an abundance of divine omens, they descended upon the Empire to right its wrongs.
Wow.
Thus, in a chain of dreadful events that became known as the Calamity, they annihilated the Empire in a matter of days.
Wow, okay.
The gods then finally saw what they had done in their anger and confusion. It is said that so much grief and shame filled them that they were broken and they left this reality, never to return. The continent and its inhabitants seemed dead, but at length survivors began to crawl out of their hiding holes and faced a land that no longer welcomed them. Arcane anomalies, the fallout of the Calamity, now riddled the continent, and people realized that they had to share their new home with changed and twisted creatures. Terrible beings entered through the cracks in the tapestry of reality and rose to rule over the natives. In time, these new powers rebuilt the fallen empire in their own image, and the River Realms, now godless and vengeful, reincarnated from the ashes. The inhabitants of the land, such as I, now eke out a living under the crushing rule of the new empire. The continent itself constantly resists our every attempt at building a cozy home for ourselves. As travel is dangerous, many ventures specialize in transferring cargo and passengers over bleak and deadly leagues of land. Others try to take everything of value from said travelers, or attempt to find buried treasures among the ruins of the old empire. The leaders of the endeavors are, some say, the bravest men and women of the River Realms. Such a leader is called a Vagrus.
Cool. That's a strong opening. Alright. Welcome, Vagabonds of the Wasteland. It's 2 parts. First section of the standalone stories, Pilgrims of the Wasteland, which is more narrative heavy and serves as a tutorial. Takes the open world main campaign. So let's do new game. Huh. Wasteland mode. This is the way Vagrus was intended to be played by the developers. The setting is a cruel, harsh, unforgiving place, and so the game will not pull any punches. Expect a steep difficulty curve and little to no handholding. Save often because you will probably run into dead ends and deaths from time to time. Dissonance mode. This game is tailored more towards a narrative experience. Combat management and almost all other aspects of gameplay are less challenging. The result is a smoother difficulty at the cost of alignment with the setting, causing a certain dissonance. What does that mean? Nothing beside remains round the decay, the colossal wreck boundless and bare. The lone and level sands stretch far away. From Ozymandias by Percy Bysshe Shelley, the only thing of note he ever did.
Ah, yes, a Vagrus. What a profession. Daring and savvy, always watching the horizon, always looking for an opportunity, and of course, for what is best for his comitatus, eh? And you are a Vagrus too, are you not? Many of your kind have I seen in my long life as a vagabond. Care to listen to a story about your exquisite occupation, good master? It is a tale of woe and terror, but it is also a tale that is true, as I have seen it with mine own eyes.
I did not watch Honey Heist yet because I had to set up a block of time to do it, which is probably going to be today. Like yesterday, I had a lot of stuff to do after the stream, so I was not able to watch it. But today, I will do so. Also, hello 3D Gaming, how are you doing today? Like, it's on my list. I've got it, like, on a little post-it note right here. Anyway, tell us your tale, old man. It'll help kill the time.
Wise you are, good master. My tale is of a Vagrus, such as yourself, but one whose fate was cursed and wrought with ill fortune.
Wrought with ill
It
fortune.
all happened a long time ago. 10 years, maybe more. I was but a passenger, traveling rough roads and forgotten ways with this comitatus, south along the feet of the great mountains of the west. This comitatus I speak of had fallen under hard times. Perhaps it was due to imperial harassment or unfortunate decisions, or simply bad luck. Ira Franz, saint of roads, does not always smile on us mere mortals. But however it came to pass, their coin was drying up, and their opportunities seemed few and far between. One of the last chances their Vagrus saw was to travel to the remote town of Scrapheap and spend their remaining funds to stock up on cheap scrap metal. This metal could be sold for great profit over in the east and south. It wasn't a bad plan, truly, but it was not without risks either.
Okay. Welcome to Vagrus, the Riven Realms demo. It's part of a longer standalone story, Pilgrims of the Wasteland, which serves as an introduction to the setting and also a tutorial for the game. It behooves you to read the tutorial text and follow the instructions to gain a better understanding of how the game works. This icon can be clicked on the tutorial. I don't know where that is. I don't see it. This icon can be clicked in tutorial windows to show what the section is referring to via a pointer. Note that you have to be on the right UI screen for the pointer to appear. You can access the hotkey list by pressing F11. Ah, I see. On the campaign map, your Comitatus traveling company always occupies a node and moves between nodes through paths. Moving along paths costs movement points indicated next to each path. Every in-game day, you have a number of movement points to spend before you need to camp. Which I guess is 9 over here, yeah. To move, click on a nearby node and select Move from the radial menu. You can select a node that is farther away. The MP cost of moving there will be calculated and the path highlighted. Having gone ahead of the column with a handful of scouts, you watch from afar as your Comitatus slowly trudges along broken terrain, making its way south. Sorry, I just weird. A lot out of breath today. Making your way south, ponderously among dormant geysers. All around you, the hills smolder lazily in the perpetual twilight. Are you alright? Javek's voice resonates with sympathy as he appears next to you on the ridge. You nod slowly, but do not look at him. Your gaze lost in the distance where ash cloaks the horizon and the towering mountains to the south and west. You turn to your Komes and note his supportive smile. You and Javik have been traveling the realms together for years now. There's no person in the world you trust more than him, except perhaps yourself. I know you feel that your hands are tied, but like I said before, you made the right choice by leading us here. Most of the story is presented through interactive text called events. Events let you make different choices at each step. Some choices have a number of consequences, while others have various dependencies. Dependencies mean that you can only pick a certain choice if you have the right prerequisite. Skills, perks, characters, and so on. To select a choice, click on it or use 1 to 9 to select the one you like. Let's see here. There wasn't much of a choice. It's either this or returning my trading license and hanging myself. Don't forget banditry. We could make serious coin waylaying travelers. Javik's smile is mild, but you're used to his sarcastic humor. Unfortunately for many, this is not a very light-hearted matter. Highwaymen and brigands roam the foreboding wilderness between settlements, and attacks are fairly common. Thus, travelers often band together for protection, which gave rise to the golden age of Komitati and Vagri. Seriously, though, there may have been little choice, but how you go about it matters much more than you think. That, I think. How's the rest of the crew holding up? They do have faith in you still, Javik says. should not come as a surprise, since you have known and traveled with most of them for years and years. Some founding members of your comitatus you could trust with your life, but you've heard stories about Vagri who've been abandoned for less. Times being what they are, Javik trails off. With Imperials cracking down on us, independence more heavily than before, business is tough. Everyone knows, and they appreciate your efforts to keep us floating. Our plan ought to give us another chance. The plan. You talked to your traveling company into this a few weeks ago, but with each step towards the western mountains, more and more of them started to have doubts. Such is the way of the road, perhaps. The plan involves a desperate attempt at squeezing a low-selling price for metal bits out of an old contact of yours in the town of Scrapheap, stocking up on said metal by spending your remaining coin, and bringing the cargo down south around the Molten Tongue to Devon via Avernum and Ash. There's a shortage of metal in Devon, and you know several buyers who would give a pretty price for your goods if you could only make it there before many others with a similar cargo do. Such contacts are the boon of the long decades spent on the road, but even if Narbo, that villain, gave you an agreeable price in Scrapheap, the road is not without its perils. Sneaking through the gap between the dead forest and the Molten Tongue is inviting disaster, so it is not a path with many Vagrus would risk. And of course, if this fails, you are out of alternatives. Do you think Narbo will help out? The old scavenger was never famous for his goodwill, Javik wonders. When text is highlighted in pale blue, it means you have found a codex entry. Clicking on these opens the codex and navigates you to the entry. Flabbergasted how? Codex is a collection of entries you find throughout your travels. Entries contain information about the world and its inhabitants. When you have unread entries, the crystal on the cover of the closed codex emanates light. Entries are displayed in a list on the left. You can search entries and filter them by category using the buttons at the top. Unread entries are marked by a blue icon, while already read entries have a gold icon. The text of the selected entry appears on the right. Information in the codex is supplementary. It's there for those who wish to learn more about the Riven Realms. Oh, over here. Oh yeah, I remember Archaea. What's up with that? Like, what's going on with that? He has to help us out. He won't be able to pass up the opportunity to make us indebted to him. These are dark times. They call for desperate deeds. But such thoughts make me uncomfortable, to be honest. Javik rubs his chin absent-mindedly. You've seen this expression of his too often not to realize he's using his sorceress talent to read your mind. Take a peek. Apologies. Javik rubs his eyes quickly and looks away. You know how it is. It comes to me so naturally that sometimes I don't notice I'm doing it. Your thoughts were loud, Vagrus. I had to actually block them, you see. After joining your comitatus 6 years ago, Javik proved to be an invaluable asset. Not only does he sense moods and thoughts around him, but he's also able to subtly manipulate others when he focuses his inner energies. It comes in handy when doing business. Then there are his other perks. A few times you saw him shatter the minds of men and beasts who tried to kill him. Not a pretty sight, but a very effective deterrence. Yet because he is not a trained sorcerer, at least not in the traditional sense, his abilities are somewhat difficult to control. You have become accustomed to his impromptu thought scans, while others find it less bearable to be around him. For this reason, he has kept his abilities a secret for many years overall, but you can't keep a secret such as this for long in the close-knit community of a comitatus, especially not if you keep bursting minds and knowing things you shouldn't. There are only a handful of your comes who put up with being near him for any length of time. But even so, he's not probed your mind in years, certainly not on purpose, but neither by accident. Perhaps he's less in control now, which suggests he is more on edge about this whole trip than he lets on. Apology accepted, managed Fate smile. Let us return to the others and push on. There's still a day's travel ahead of us. Both of you head west to join the column.
As we were coming up to the gates of Scrapheap, this trash pile town of cutthroats and scavengers, we could see the vast mountain ranges of shattered Bivanda Thar looming ominously over the horizon, half shrouded in the gaseous vapors belched forth by the volcanoes in the far west. My companions prepared to do their business in town as fast as they could, not wishing to tarry in this notorious place.
At the foot of the ever-fuming mountains of the ancient Dwarven kingdom lies Scrapheap, the town of scavengers. Debris and junk is piled into veritable hills upon which the rickety homes of the decrepit inhabitants stand precariously. Ash lingers everywhere, and the sun is almost always absent from the twilight skies. Deals are struck day and night over the precious metal scraps gathered in the ruins of nearby Devendar Thar, while the Heap King oversees all from his dreaded tower. Shady eyes and soot-covered faces watch from under ash-laden awnings. Life is cheaper than iron here, some say. Yeah, this game's neat. So far, at least. I don't know how interesting it's going to be because I barely even started. A lot of detail being put into the setting and description stuff, though. So that's very cool. Elusia's City of Nature, civilization is bad. Has supposedly captured many gods and definitely launched an attack on all cities. Wow. Are they winning? When a Comitatus enters a settlement, you can select from a variety of options, each of its own separate pane, revolving around resting, resupplying, and trading. You also have the opportunity to initiate some stories located in the settlement. Okay, so I can do trading and all this other stuff, but right now I only have the ability to do story. You make your way to the Wraith Stash, a notorious watering hole tucked away in a small street just beneath the imposing tower of the Heap King, but not quite under its immense shadow. Few frequent the establishment, which makes it perfect for Narbo and his little operation of honest merchants. Apparently the knave is not only alive, but has done well for himself in the past decade or so. Taking only Javik, you leave the Comitatus to the care of Titus, your quartermaster, while you're gone negotiating. Ash is flitting from the black sky as you cross the street and nod to the bouncer of the Wraith Stash. You give him your sidearms quietly. Rules are rules, at least as long as they can enforce them. Whoops. Yet they have the courtesy of allowing you to keep your dagger. And of course, they have no idea what Javik is capable of should it come to a scuffle. Not that you'd expect such a thing. But with Narbo, one never knows. Though you could have told your crew that he and you got way back, the entrepreneur is a capricious and manipulative man with whom you do not part on the best of terms. Does he remember that? Surely. Could he be persuaded to take your proposal? Who knows? Your eyes slowly adjust to the dimness of the tavern's interior. Only a few candles and a lamp at the bar illuminate the common room. Shadowy faces turn toward you, and you observe you through the smoke. The bartender, a thick-set man in a dirty tunic, is chewing tobacco serenely. Above the bar hangs the skeleton of a large heap lizard on display. Narbo is sitting at the table in the back, his bodyguard half hidden in the darkness of the wall behind him. Let's make our way over to Narbo. The entrepreneur looks up from the stack of papers in front of him and rubs his eyes. Narbo is a corpulent man with a bushy dark beard and a few missing teeth. Part of his face is covered in scars similar to those left by old burns, so I guess that's him right there. That, coupled with the withered and mutilated left arm that hangs limply at his side, is a clear indication of the taint. The merchant wears a leather jerkin studded with small bronze and bone coins, a sign of wealth and boldness. His bodyguard, a lithe man with tribal tattoos and an outfit made of leather, moves his hand calmly to a spear that leans against the wall. Narbo's mouth falls open as the spark of recognition flares up in his eyes. No wonder. It's been 10 years. The fuck, mate? He blinks. I thought you croaked. People, Narbo waves his good hand around and looks at his bodyguard. Told tales of your dismal eyes. The man finishes his sentence for him as the merchant nods vehemently. That business with Kerknak outpost in the storm, Narbo adds. You tell him that you were indeed at Kernak when the terrible arcane storm struck. You describe the horrors of that night briefly. You add how many of your original Comitatus died there. Close friends, old traveling companions. But you walked away unscathed. This was years ago. Sheesh, that fucker earphones looked after you something fierce, eh? Narbo chuckles hardly. But I'm sure you haven't come to reminisce about good times, eh? His predatory smile makes you cautious, even though he invites you to sit down with a casual wave of his meaty hand. Sorry about the way we parted. So I guess, but like, are they winning? Is my main question. Like, one city against the world? With one or multiple gods? As far as I can tell, you never did anything against me, nah? Narbo shrugs with a wry smile. Of course you could have sent someone to warn us. The bodyguard finishes the sentence. Back when Narbo and you parted ways, Avernum's Collegium was hot on your trails. They got offended by how you two outplayed them by smuggling in a shipment of exotic spices without their knowledge and selling it to a local nobleman's merchant house. You look at Narbo and tell him there was no way of warning him or even knowing where he was after the chaos was unleashed following the heist in Avernum. You had to get your crew out of there, so you did. The merchant is fiddling thoughtfully with a stack of papers while listening to you. I appreciate you climbing clean even though the sorry business was so many years ago, he says after a long pause. The bodyguard becomes visibly less tense. Something tells me that ain't all you came for. So what is it? You breathe in. Time to outline your proposition. You explain to Narbo how you want him to give you a discount on a shipment of metal scraps, which you would then smuggle into Devon through contacts you have in the city's underworld. The profit on the shipment would be quite extensive. You do not name your contact, but divulge enough of her that the plan looks solid. Buyers, you say, are lining up, expecting the shipment soon. Narbo sits in silence, eyes fixed on the table as if listening to some noise from afar. He has not cut you off at any time during your proposition. At length, after you're done, he looks up and gives you a weak smile. Sounds like you've been thinking about it for a long time about it, he says as he shifts in his chair. And it's a great plan, except for the part where I give you a discount for your asking and not much else. I don't do that, mate. That would make me, an almoner, the bodyguard adds discreetly. Oh, that a word? Narbo looks up at him. When the man nods, he turns back to you. An almoner. See, I'm no almoner. You got to know me better than that. What you got for me? Yeah, I'm playing Vagrus. I'm trying out the demo for this, because it looked interesting. Okay, so, no, the dust hasn't settled quite yet. I understand. Well, let me know how that goes, because I'm very interested in seeing how a single city fares against the entire world. But yes, hello, the Hermit Gamer. I am currently trying out the demo for Vagrus. Got something in my eye there. Let's see. Right, yeah, I've seen from the Steam reviews. This one's mixed, whereas the regular one is overwhelmingly positive. Cost 2 resourcefulness. I don't know how much resourcefulness I have. Some choices have dependencies, meaning you can only pick a certain choice if you have the right prerequisites. Some choices involve tests that can be failed or succeed with different consequences. Perks, characters, and resources can change the chances of success in tests. Test difficulty is represented by a number between 1 and 100 that you need to roll equal to or below. Oh. Ah, I see. Those purple bars, you have the bottom left of the main. Okay, so that's a little annoying. Yeah, well, like I said, there's a demo for this, so try it out yourself before you buy it. There's the demo, which is like the tutorial story bit, and then there's the first 25 turns of an open world campaign one. So you can at least get the basic idea of how the game runs before you drop $30 or whatever on the full game. You know, I'll spend some resources. Leadership perk is required to unlock. Okay, it's a toggle. So I add 15% to this and 6% to this. 20 to 61. Nice. I suppose you don't plan on croaking just so I can't collect us a debt. Narbo's chuckle churns into a short wheezing cough. Alright, well, I know you to be a man of your word, and we used to run together, so I know you're good. But just to be clear, you do owe me for this, and I'll collect. I'll collect right now, in fact. You headed to Devon by way of Avernum, aye? When you nod, Narbo leans closer and signals his bodyguard. The man with the dreadlock steps closer and carefully produces a small packet from beneath his leather jerkin, then puts it into the merchant's palm. Really? I mean, I had a moderate chance and then I upped the chance, so it would have been a bad roll, but I had a pretty good deal, but I still got a 20 on that, which is not bad. Let's see. When you nod, Narble leans closer and signals bodyguard. This here little fella is mighty important to me. If you take this out to the city and deliver it to my associate in Avern, and we're even, you get your discount scrap from me. The merchant offers you the package. Javik draws in a breath before you can speak. Narvo interrupts him. And before pretty boy here asks, no, I won't tell you what's in it, and don't even think about opening the package. What I can say is it ain't dangerous to yourself. But you might want to keep it hidden from the damn militia of good old crap heap. You take the package. The way Narbo glares at you makes it clear that you have no other choice. This might be just the opportunity you had hoped for. The package is small enough to fit in your palm, feels very light, and is wrapped in fine leather. You pocket it after briefly observing it. You'll be looking for a man named Scornar in Avernum. He ain't to be trifled with either. Just tell him I'm sent you and he'll be fine. You can find him or his men in Larvinus' watering hole most of the time. Give this little fella to him and only to him. Understand? After you assure him you do, Narbo instructs you to give him an hour, then look for his people at the market and simply introduce yourself. They will know what price they should give you on the metal scraps by then. He motions to his man. You and Javik stand up and make ready to leave. Rather here, we'll take you to the back exit. We don't want to give people the idea they can come here and beg for almonds now, do we? Or anyone connected to us and run to the militia for that matter. You got what you came for, so you leave the Wraith stash at the back entrance and head back to the Comitatus. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Yeah, that's true. Don't worry. I have plenty of time to fail. Civilization might be winning. Huh. Well, plenty of time for it to still happen, like I said. You got what you came for, so you leave the Wraith stash through the back entrance and head back to the Comitatus. At the foot of the ever-fuming mountains of the ancient Dwarven Kingdom lies Scrap Heap. I already did this. The journal located in the bottom left is now active. It means to follow stories and tasks. The journal allows you to view your quests, tasks, and other related information. You can search for entries in the search field and filter them. Drop down filter buttons here. On the top left. Entries are separated into objectives and qualities in the respective panels. Objectives are your quests and ongoing stories. The text of the selected list from item appears on the right. These describe the quest or task and provide active objectives. Unread entries have blue exclamation mark icon and appear on top, while already read entries are marked by gold dots, a green check mark, or red cross fail. Tasks are non-narrative missions and goals you can complete for rewards. There are several types, like trade opportunities or mercenary work, but in Pilgrims of the Wasteland you can only find passengers here. Passengers have to be taken to their destination, where they will compensate you for your trouble. Be careful, because sometimes passengers will leave if you take too long to get to their destination. Qualities can be statuses, gathered information, secrets, and so on. Unread entries have blue exclamation mark. Look, if I want to get on dice, if I want to get on not critical role, what was the tabletop game again? I'm just saying, if I get on there, that'd be pretty cool. Get to play some games before they spike up in price because they were on the show. See, you can tilt the odds in your favor somewhat. Yeah, but I can always roll a 1 or 100, I suppose. She's having... Do I have capture the gods? Yeah, well, we'll see. After all, Tabletop Simulator is basically that, right? Market pane is now active. The market pane displays the available goods you can buy at the settlement's market, and opens your cargo pane on the left. Got a cargo lizard. Look at this guy. Look at him. You can buy goods from the market or sell your own goods from your cargo code here. When buying or selling, buy or sell one increment only by clicking on the buy or sell button. Holding shift sells a whole stack. Drag and drop for selling stacks. Holding shift, clicking icon. Purchase 24 scrap metal. Okay, and additional supplies. Is that all my money? Yes. Equipment that you can attach to the Commitatus is sold on some markets and found through your travels. They provide bonuses and upgrades. You can switch between the market of good equipment using the buttons. Purchase the awnings equipment. Minus 20% consumption for workers and slaves. Line and awnings stretch over saddles and carts to block harmful weather effects and provide shade. Ooh. I am not familiar with feudalism, but I bet it's probably very similar to this in terms of just how the trading works. Probably the best fun I had running a caravan. What I'm getting out of this is a little bit... So obviously it has like more in-depth stuff to it because you actually have people on with you, but I'm kind of getting vibes of the Elite Dangerous trading game where you have to stock up on specific things and then ship yourself over to a different SAR system to start selling it for big money. And then, like, you have to start investing in, like, okay, do I get better jump drives to get me there faster? Do I get more cargo space? Do I invest in a whole new ship, which has better cargo space but might not jump as far? I had to get fuel. I had to probably get some kind of extra thrusters to get to stations faster. Do I get something to help defend me against incoming people who are going to interdict me? Equipment you own are in a pool below the Commitatus illustration. In order to gain their bonuses, you must need to equip them first by dragging and dropping them into an appropriate slot. There we go. Items, the third type of cargo, do not take up cargo space and are not equipable. They're used and traded in certain events. You can switch panes in settlement, and the active pane will Commitatus. So once you leave, you'll not come back to this place. Okay, so this is very, very different from them. Got it. Meta players eventually go full Pony Express. You can get 14, 15 movement points a day, so you can blitz across the map. I mean, I've got 9. That's pretty good, right? Let's see, how much money do I have? I have 4 Bros, 8 Learg, 5 Changers. So Bros is the big money. Okay, wait. Huh. Guess I can't buy anything else, so... Ah, fair enough. Right. So every little bit helps. Let's travel in Scoundrel's Lane. You and Javik roam the dingy market called Scoundrel's Lane at the foot of the Great Heap, upon which the Tower of the Heap King is built. Ash-covered awnings and dirty stalls line the labyrinthine streets, with stiflingly narrow alleys and tiny squares adding to the general confusion. Sometimes it's difficult to tell a shop from a dilapidated home, and for a good reason. Most people who live here are also merchants to some extent. And even though the Heap King's militia is there to keep the peace, you can't help but notice all the shifty gazes from the deplorable types aimed at you. I recall a little shop hidden here. Maybe the dwarven guy is still there? Yeah. I mean, I had a good chance of succeeding, so... The small shop is still there, at the end of the Serpentine Alley in the south side of the market district. Standing outside of it, you notice how it is much worse shape than you remember. Inside the decrepit scrap shack is an equally unkempt young fellow who hails you with a jolly smile. The shop looks empty. Short conversation reveals that the youngster is the son of the man who used to run this place. His father never came back from a forge into dwarven ruins a few months ago. Fortunately, I don't have Dad's expertise on dwarves, neither am I the adventurous sort, so by now I've sold out his remaining stock and I'm closing shop soon. Then I'm off and away from Crap Heap for good. Go south, maybe to them Dragon lands, he says, scratching his beard. We talk about the dwarven culture a bit, and his father's obsession with their forgotten technological wonders. You're about to say goodbye when he slaps his forehead. I still have something here that a Vagrus, such as yourself, might be interested in. money. He fishes a small brass compass out of his pocket and hands it to you. It's a masterwork, no doubt, sporting runes and detailed etchings on the sides. The fellow's willing to sell it to you for a token price. Fortunately, I can't afford it. I bought too much coal, I think. Yeah, I bought too much coal. If I hadn't bought the coal. It's fine. Let's get out of here. Packed up, restocked on supplies, and with all your business here concluded, you finally make ready to leave the decrepit town of scrap heap behind in the morning. Spend the night inside the guard compound, not for free though. I wish this wasn't directly blocking my money. This kind of is annoying. You set out at dawn. Ashes flitting from the sky and the distant mountains rumble ominously. In the morning twilight, as your comitatus reaches the west gate of the town, you notice something almost immediately. The militia at the gates is questioning and inspecting travelers. Move along towards the inspection. You realize that they're looking for the package Narbo gave you. There's a minuscule chance of finding it among several departing caravans, all made up of dozens of people, respectively. Besides, the package is tiny and well hidden at the bottom of a sack of dried mushrooms. A robed magistrate of the Heap King appears to coordinate the search effort, picking out people or even whole traveling groups for inspection. As your comitatus draws near, it only takes a passing glance from him to check you and your crew before he motions to the guards to let you through. You quietly pass under the gates and out into the broken wastelands. The comitatus is well on its way, and Scrap Heap is a mere dot on the horizon by the time Javik joins you at the front of the line. Just like I said, you made the right choice with this venture. Talk of how you may have saved us all is spreading like wildfire, he says with a faint smile. Of course, we do have to make it all live to Devon with the cargo, but it's a good start, don't you think? Agreed. There may be hope left in the comitatus after all, and you know it's in large part thanks to you and your abilities, not mine. Javik smiles as he bows his head in thanks. Not that I fully agree, but it's my pleasure to be of use. And I'm sure the journey will be fine. It's not like we started this business yesterday. With that, you both go back to your duties and the constant monitoring of the horizon. If all goes well, you should reach the wound in a few days, where you can turn south along the edge of the Molten Tongue and travel down to Avernum. Progress is saved at checkpoints, or you can save manually. Whenever you leave a settlement or reach a checkpoint with each new in-game day, an autosave occurs. You can save manually using F10. Saving is allowed during combat. You can load your save game using F9. Weird choice.
There they were, with a full cargo hold, and filled with newfound hope. Yet, the road ahead still promised hardships and peril. I traveled with them southwards, expecting to reach more habitable lands beyond the Molten Tongue's river of lava.
Oh. The crew management window allows you to manage your comitatus. Morale is the general mood of your comitatus. If it ever drops to 1, there's a chance that the comitatus dissolves and you lose the game. You can see the current effects of morale below the rating. I don't see it. Obedience indicates how satisfied your slaves are. Low obedience leads to theft, runaways, and worse. Be sure to guide your slaves with enough fighters and treat your slaves well, or punish them consistently to raise obedience. Nutrition shows you how well fed your crew is. Low nutrition incurs penalties. Extra rations raise nutrition, while starving your crew repeatedly lowers it. Vigor indicates how tired the comitatus is. Low vigor results in penalties on tests and a drastically slower comitatus, which can spell doom quite fast. You can see the current effects on your vigor below the rating. Upkeep is how much you owe your crew. You can pay them at the end of each day or keep collecting debt. Consumption is how much food your crew consumes each day. Running out of supplies leads to a quick death in the wastelands. Workforce is generally generated by workers and slaves. You have to have enough workforce to cover your comitatus' needs, including beasts, crew, and passengers. Going below the required number bestows serious penalties. Passengers are people your comitatus takes into their destination for rewards. You can take on passengers in some events and settlements. They also consume supplies. Here you can see the number of each crew and beast type you have in your comitatus. Consult the tooltip for each type to learn more about their role. Outriders are special because you need a fighter and a mount to be able to create an outrider using the plus button, which is... There we go. While outriders are excellent fighters, mounts without any riders carry cargo. You can always dismount fighters using the minus button. Yeah, well, I don't doubt that's going to be an issue. I would have bought more food if I could have, but the game wouldn't let me. Also, I see. So, magic nukes exist in this game, too. Got it. Okay, onwards. You've run out of movement points and need to camp, ending the day. Being on the road all day, spending most of your MPs, lowers the vigor of your comitatus that you can replenish by camping. You can also camp earlier than running out of MPs, which helps raise vigor faster. At the end of each in-game day, the comitatus makes camp and settles down for the night. Supplies are consumed and movement points are refreshed after camping. In each camp, you can decide to offer normal or double wages for the current day, independent of whether you pay them or not. Double payment increases morale. You can also choose to pay all your debts to your crew at this time, or crew payments, but the longer you delay, the grumpier the crew gets. Obedience and nutrition also appear here, as well as the options to discipline or liberate slaves. Workforce shows how much workforce, blah blah. Going below the required bestows serious penalties. You have the option to give out less or more supplies under rations, which penalizes or boosts vigor and morale respectively. Starving your crew will have long-term negative effects on nutrition, but it may be necessary sometimes to save rations. All the lock icons allow you to save the current settings of the corresponding UI element so that it remains the same for the next camp. I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about that. Everything. This is a D&D. Look, that's an orc. Also, that's who? I don't know. I really don't. Under hunting and foraging, you can send the crew out into the wasteland to find supplies and sometimes even other goods. Base chances for these activities depend on your related perks, deputies, crew, and the region which you're in. You can also see the expected yields below each activity. The cost of hunting and foraging if movement points, or vigor if you're out of movement points. Hunting uses scouts and has a chance to get you a large number of supplies. Critical failure might kill scouts. Click on the scouts to allow hunting. There. Foraging is more reliable, but yields fewer supplies. You can use workers and slaves. You can add to them or remove them from the activity by clicking on their crew portraits. Critical failures might kill workers or slaves. Okay. Yeah, it's just straight up a tiefling. Also, I don't think this game has classes necessarily, but you do get companions who are various skill things. Summary what happened to your crew that day can be seen on the right. Over here. You can also talk to your companions using the speech bubbles. Companions heal naturally during camp. The chase of healing or worsening condition can also be seen on the bar below the portraits, which is there. Using the button on the right allows the use of medical supplies for increased healing chances and effectiveness. Medical supplies are quite valuable. Healing results appear after you end the day. You must also set your defense orders for the night. A more lenient defense is a high risk of a nighttime ambush and negative effect on obedience. Okay, so let's do post guards. Who are you? Morwen. There's Javik. What do you think about Norbo's package? Whatever's in it, your friend was really concerned to get it out of scrap heap, but none of the wiser, and get to the man in Avernum. When he sees your thoughtful expression, Javik adds, I sincerely hope you don't plan on opening the damn thing. We're in enough of a predicament as it is. I would surely antagonize this Skornar fellow, who, in Narbo's mind, appeared as a tough customer. Someone your friend was clearly afraid of. Go back to your duties. Okay, we got hunting going. I have a I think that's 5% chance critical failure and 9% chance. I think that's 52% chance of failure. It's on the day. Yeah, it's a failure. That's fine, I suppose. It's just a failure. Okay, another failure. Yeah, I don't know what... It doesn't seem like they had a good plan. Like, normally in these situations, you'd be like, I have the secret super weapon that will make sure I win. But no, they just kind of decide to declare war on the world. Which doesn't seem to have worked out for them. So who knows? After a long day's march under bleak skies and harassed by hot winds, the Comitatus finally settles down in a wide ravine. After taking care of camp chores and checking on all your comas, you go back to your tent and tuck in for the night. There are benefits to sleeping out in the wasteland. The silence is quite calming, tranquil even. Only the murmur in the distant fire-belching mountains, the whisper of the wind, and the occasional groans of your beasts can be heard. Except, something else is making a muffled noise you do not recognize. Your eyes flick open. Something is wrong. What in Tartarus is it now? Leaving your tent and passing by the sleeping beast, you're just about to call to a guard when you stumble upon a large quadrupedal creature covered with fused bone protrusions. It is munching on supplies scattered across the ground, evidently from a torn open sack lying nearby. The creature is a Jakra, a wasteland scavenger that hunts in packs. Before you can utter a word, the monster charges you, and out of the shadows, Morwen leaps at it, tackling it aside and cutting its hide with her bone axe in a follow-up swing. You breathe out, realizing that she has probably just saved your life. Javik runs up to you just as the creature backs off and lets out a long howl. There's more of these accursed things, boss. Must have sneaked past the perimeter guards. They're trying to chase him off, she blurts out. As he does, you can hear yelling from the sounds of battle from around the camp. The wounded Jakra is joined by another one from behind a cargo pile, and the two of them start circling you. Okay, then. Companion combat is turn-based, where 1 to 6 enemies fight against your team of 1 to 6 companions. You can use the skills of your companions to defeat your enemies. Companion combat is made of rounds. Each round, all the participants take turns to act, and when everyone has had their turn, the current round ends and a new round is started. Friendly side left and opponent side right. Each side has a front row and back row. Each row is 3 positions. Certain skills can only be used when standing in a position in the appropriate row. Ah, sick. The order in which combatants receive their turns according to the initiative. At the beginning of each round, all active combatants add 1 to 6 to their initiative to determine in what order they will progress through the round. The initiative order top left shows the order in which the combatants receive their turns. Oh no! Melee skills can only be used in the front row. They can only target front row enemies that are adjacent to the attacker's position, or back row enemies if no front row enemy blocks them. Because of these rules, positioning in melee is paramount. Okay, all characters can move. Footprint icon to any adjacent position on their own side. They move into a position that is occupied by another character. That character is pushed out of the position. It occupies and has to be moved into an adjacent free position, into the position the other character has just left. Not only do characters in the front row prevent melee attacks against characters directly behind them, but also make them more difficult to hit with certain range skills. If you want to move, select the move icon and then position. Move Morwen in front of Javik to protect him. Then each companion has 4 combat skills besides move, represented by the row of icons. You can select skills or move by clicking on them and pressing their number. Selected skills are highlighted, as are all available targets for the selected skill. Use Mind Blast. Yeah, I definitely see the Darkest Dungeon vibes coming out of this. Morwen's skill, Savage Kick, includes options push front row enemies back, Savage Kick, and pull back row enemies to the front, Whiplash. Some skills are more complex. For example, using a move and an attack These type of skills can be used to great effect in controlling your enemies. Or in Scavenge skill, send the enemy to the back row, denying it an attack. Got him. Okay. So now you get this. Hypnosis. Single target moves where you command it. Premonition. Caster and ally receive a bonus for initiative, accuracy, evade, and block. Wow. Whiplash. Pulls an enemy. Savage kick. Hit 2 adjacent enemies in the same row, then move to the side. Okay, let's do a Mind Blast. What's this one? Right. Mind Blast. That's telekinesis, Kyle. Oh, I bet, because you could probably just use that to, like, snag people from the back lane where they can't attack, and they just hit him in the front row. And I bet there's moves that they can't do while in the front row that just completely ruin them. The 2 Jakra lie dead at your feet. Morrowind wipes the foul-smelling blood from her axe blade as a guard arrives and talks to her. You okay, boss? Javik pats you on the shoulder. You nod, turning to Morrowind as she approaches you. All hostiles taken care of, she says. They got some of the food, but we could take their meat and other parts to make up for it. Yeah, just give them some food. Ivory, supplies. I guess I have to leave it. Lovecraftian dogs? You can deny melee units from attacking you, force them to the back row. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, so just being able to force enemies around does seem very strong, but you only get 1 action a turn, right? So that just lets you lock things into position. Chart is now active. Okay, I gotta get down to a Vernum. So there's the Comitatus, and I gotta get all the way down here. Jeez, that's a way. What's that? Wandering Old Man. Yeah, okay, I guess escape. Tentacle flesh-hungry alien dogs. I mean, that's a good pet. Danger dog. Charge your tool. You can move around by holding left mouse button, moving the mouse, and you can zoom with mouse wheel. It comes red banner up there. Any discovered settlement or point of interest can be marked by clicking on their icon and choosing flag icon on the bottom left box, which highlights them on the chart. Also the option to navigate to the codex. Ah, there. Forced March allows you to move further than your maximum movement points in a given day. Forced March moves use marching MPs. Marching along paths and its cost is indicated by red along the map. Although Forced March gets you further, use them carefully. Your crew loses vigor and even morale rapidly if you march too often without extra resting. Your song suggests refraining from frequent forced marches until you have more experience. As the Comitatus is scaling another stretch of black sand dunes, one of the Outriders you had sent out to screen your left flank rides in on the line and heads immediately to you. You can see the man is in a panic right away from the way he hops off the saddle while decelerating and almost falls over. Before he reaches you, your guardsmen are already setting up a defensive perimeter to the east. You beckon to the beast drivers to halt the line. Vagrus, they're coming! I saw him walking over the dunes! The Pilgrims are coming! A murmur of terror washes over the Comitatus. Clearly, your scout was referring to the last pilgrimage. This group of spectral horrors is known to appear out of nowhere and eradicate even large groups of travelers in a matter of minutes. Nobody quite knows what happens to those who encounter them up close, as nobody has lived to tell the tale. Some reckless people were reputedly able to take a peek at the otherworldly ravers, but during your many years as Vagrus, you've never met any such person whose story was credible. You know all too well that if your outrider tells the truth, and you see no reason why he wouldn't, the only chance of survival is for all of you to run or hide. Time to hide. Outriders you sent westward report there's a rocky area not far away. After heading west for a quarter of an hour in great haste, the Comitatus finds a stretch of badlands crisscrossed by shallow ravines. The jagged, tall rock formations are half covered in the fine black sand of Arenas Negras. Already the scouts are busy setting up hiding places among the rocks and gullies. You're all behind cover in a matter of minutes. Everyone settles down, and they either pray to whatever gods they believe in or prepare for a desperate last stand. What about you? Perhaps there's a chance now to take a look at the last pilgrimage from up close. No, surely, it would be insane to attempt such a thing, wouldn't it? As you're pondering this, the wind picks up from the northeast, carrying with it clouds of black dust. Perfect cover for spying. There's still time before the storm hits with the full brunt of its force. Take a peek. It takes about 10 minutes for the feeling of what you're doing is utter madness to settle in. By then, you and a scout are creeping forward in the dust storm. Going is rough despite wearing hoods and scarves to protect your faces and eyes, but eventually you make it to the set of dunes through which the pilgrimage is expected to move. After 10 more aggravating minutes, a dull light appears over the dunes to your left. As it gets closer, it is revealed to be a blanket of white-yellow radiance that covers a shambling assembly of sickly figures. They cross the dunes not 50 yards from when you're hiding, but due to the awful dust and the eerie light, you cannot make out much. They appear to be men of sorts, or at least humanoid, wearing long robes that remind you of old depictions of pre-calamity clergy. Some of them lean on staves. A faint chanting is on the wind, and both of you are struck by a weird sensation, as if someone walked over your grave. Strange images infringe upon your peripheral vision, elusive and unformed. The otherworldly congregation passes in what feels like hours, and takes the dust storm with them. You walk back to the rest of your people wearily. Some people talk of strange images passing before their eyes, much like waking dreams, while the pilgrimage was close by. Comitatus digs itself out of the black sand and dirt ponderously. You're ready to depart in half an hour. Most of your commies are hushed and keep a wary eye on the horizon, and on you for days to come. -1 movement? Your crew grumbles. It's not a rare thing, but as there's always a reason to grumble. But this time they bitch and moan about not getting paid, which is a fairly good reason if there was any. You notice the signs are quite aware they can not go on like this forever. Otherwise, the least unsettling thing that happens is that they start leaving. Then they're going to steal your belongings too. There are much, much worse alternatives. Just keep in mind to pay their due. That's all I can do. The Comitatus climbs the last black dune and comes to a halt on your mark. Standing on one of the carts, you spy the horizon carefully before hopping down and convening with your most trusted. Ahead looms the voiceless lake, a place of deathly quiet and utter peril. The lava flow of this particular tendril of the molten tongue cools down here below a tough shell of dark rock, covered by steaming water. Yet the shell is not solid enough in places. It can crack in the blink of an eye and open under one's foot, leading to a sudden, scalding death. There are ways to guess where it's safe to cross, but it has to be done slowly and attentively. Your scouts know their way around here, but because the lava changes constantly beneath the shell, they have to rely on finding a new way through each time. The lake is voiceless because everyone has to keep completely quiet. That way, one might hear the shifting lava and the cracking shell just in time to avoid disaster. Your lieutenants agree that crossing over the far side of the hill is still better than going around and into Arenas Negras, however. Especially after coming so close to the last pilgrimage a few days ago, nobody in their right mind would go near the damn place. And so you're stuck with the plateau surrounding the voiceless lake. High chance of success? Let's do it. Ooh, okay. Going step by step, listening carefully to any telltale sounds, while sweating profusely, every member of the Comitatus manages to make it through. After hours that feel like days, you can turn away from the accursed lake and head southwards. The crew becomes animated as you leave the perilous plateau behind, even joking among themselves about the constipated silence back there. Well, I gotta pay later.
Just as we were about to leave that damnable lake behind, we heard it. An abominable shriek pierced the air and made us gasp. It came from behind some hills nearby, coupled with the ruckus of battle. The armed women and men, the Comitatus, looked at their Vagrus questioningly.
Scouts come running toward the cart line as you're about to enter the Badlands south of the lake, and hear what could only be described as a paralyzing howl, accompanied by the unmistakable sounds of battle. There's a battle going on, Vagrus. Just beneath some yonder hills, the scout points southeast. Some armed folks are being attacked by bloody undead. A murmur washes over the crew, and many of them ready their weapons. Not to give aid to fellow travelers in dire need is believed to attract dire peril onto yourself. Besides, it would be better to fight the undead together than alone if it comes to that. Tension is rising with each passing moment, with everyone watching you, waiting for you to give the order. Scout, tell me exactly what they saw. There are 4 guys clad in dark Holden metal weapons, I swear. They're losing, about a half dozen shamblers or so, one of them huge, just fucking huge. A loud death cry echoes among the hills. Rush in and attack. You clamber over the next few hills and look down upon the site of a brutal melee. Bodies are strewn across the field, most of them are mutilated undead, but some are mangled and burnt humans in dark clothes. Another such man, a robed priest with a shaven head, falls to the ground after flying half a dozen yards following a bone-crunching hit from a looming white giant. The creature looks like a being made up of several bodies, fused by some combination of natural disaster and twisted magic. The rest of the shamblers look like they're smoldering. The great white abomination engages the last 2 men standing, a white-faced, lightly armored enforcer with a shield and a tall man in elaborate black armor, wielding a greatsword. Both of them look worse for wear. There's no time to lose. You and yours rush to the aid of the 2 men. Before the fight is started, you have to deploy your companions to the available positions on the friendly left side. You do not need to deploy all your companions. Sometimes it's better to avoid sending a wounded companion into battle or simply to leave some space to maneuver. You can start combat by clicking the begin fight option. You can deploy a companion by selecting their portrait from the roster and clicking on an empty position or dragging it there. For deploying a companion, you can switch between the defense mode, block or evade, by clicking on the defense mode button next to the portrait. Defense modes are set to the higher value mode by default. You can use the top right section of the deployment window to save 3 deployment templates. In this fight, some allies are already deployed and you will take control of them, but you cannot change the deployment. Morwen is useful in the front row, while Jack's abilities favor the back row. That's a big boy, huh? Loading. Well, that guy's dead. Was that supposed to happen? I get the feeling that was supposed to happen. Some skills can target friendly units to support, protect, or even heal them. In this fight, Lao Jack's skills cannot be used because undead enemy are immune to mind-affecting effects. Javik is far from useless, however, as you can still use his premonition skill to keep his allies buffed with additional initiative, accuracy, evade, and block. Buffs do not stack, but are refreshed when cast. Have a buff. Combat is cruel, but in general you cannot heal during it. Evade allows you to completely avoid an attack, but you'll be moved to an adjacent unoccupied position after a successful evade. Also means that they may move away from a position that protects another companion. A successful block provides extra arm against the attack, mitigating more damage. However, you can still suffer damage while blocking and also suffer adverse effects from an attack. Each companion has different evade and block chance, because certain skills are better against one or the other. Two damage crit. Sidarius is a very tough companion due to his armor and good defenses. His skills also include a support skill that enhances his stats and one that debilitates an enemy, both for several rounds. Some skills can affect multiple targets. Sidarius' Cleave deals less damage than his single target Unholy Strike, but targets two enemies that stand side by side. Single enemy's Curse, losing initiative and accuracy. Let's debuff you. You, the Vagrus, may not take part directly in companion combat, but that doesn't mean you're allowed to influence it. Many of your leadership perks allow you to use resourcefulness in various ways. Whenever you have unlocked, it can be unlocked in the leader medallion, I guess over here. You have two options. Aid, which allows you to revive downed companions. The button is only active if you had a downed companion. Companion is down after losing all the vitality. They're not removed from combat, but cannot act and have to be protected because their down fit is depleted. They become severely wounded. Down characters also do not provide cover. Inspire gives us a substantial defense buff to a target character for 3 rounds. Use Inspire to give an additional character. Select Inspire. And then select this guy, I guess. Nice. The Congregated's turn. Oh, come on. Why are they all attacking her? Lame. Okay, enjoy having a buff. Hold on. Miss. And now she's moved into the back lane. Sick. Oh, come on. Nice. Four damage. Okay. Let's buff you again. Wham. Let's get rid of you. Come on, he's almost dead. What? How much health does this guy have? Seriously. 1 damage. 3 damage. Well, she's down. Band is down and losing all their vitality in combat. They're not removed, but you cannot perform actions. They receive down vit and occupy their previous position. Enemies can target them and they lose on their down vit. You be severely wounded, even die. Yeah, well, I can use this, so... Fucking die already, Jesus. Thank you. Jeez. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So you can use resourcefulness on buffs. Also, is there any place that actually tells me, like it told me in the tutorial that mind affecting things won't work on it, but does it actually tell me anywhere that it doesn't? It's over. The undead finally stopped moving, their bodies lying mutilated all around the hills. The large abomination was hacked to pieces and is now a jumbled pile of ash and petrified bones. Some of your crew also got torn up. There are several wounded and 1 dead. The man in the black armor is the only one of his company who survived the battle. He's sitting on a rock nearby, covered in ash from hacking at the abomination, drinking ponderously from a wireskin while he's observing the battlefield. His grim gaze wanders from one slain companion to the other as if wanting to make sure that all of them are dead. At length, his piercing gaze finds you, and a chill runs down your spine. There's no doubt in your mind that the man and you need to talk. You walk over to the black-armed man and address him. You walk up to the man and offer him your hand. He looks you up and down in a fashion that suggests mild contempt. His great sword, forged of steel, lies across his lap. He does not take your hand. You seem to be the leader of this. The man is looking for the word as he eyes the comitatus. Company of travelers, what is your business here? The bluntness of the question, coupled with the man's evident hostility and ungratefulness, leaves you speechless. Perhaps it is for the best. You notice the man is bearing the symbol of Sergorod, which would make you cautious. Who? God of vengeance, anger, malevolence, and curses. One of the 3 gods of the Empire's official religion. We're a traveling comitatus heading south. I see. So you're turning up here as a matter of utter coincidence, I take. When you assure him it is, he narrows his eyes and pierces you with his gaze. There is a tense moment that seems to take forever. You are truthful, Vagrus. Commendable. The man rises from his rock. He towers over you now, and it dawns on you that the war gear he carries makes him either a very rich or very powerful person in the metal-starred world, or both. I am grateful for your assistance in this skirmish, late as it was, he says, turning to look at Javik, who appears at your side and bows his head to the man. Without acknowledging your friend or his greeting, the armored fellow turns to you again. My name is Sadarius. I am a knight of Ordus Negralis Solus. By aiding me, Vagrus, you have aided Imperial law. You must have some questions of your own. Now is the chance to ask them. Can't check the battle log. I don't know, actually. Also, hello, Domius. How are you doing? What were you doing here? I and my companions came here in search of enemies of the Empire to smoke them out of their hideout here in the wilds. It was supposed to be the last glorious battle, concluding a long investigation that took months. As you can see, it went down quite differently. It is now my assumption that we've been betrayed and a trap was set for us. The traitors were supposed to apprehend lured us here along with these undead and hoped to see us all slaughtered. Segurad, however, in his endless salience, saw fit to grant me an opportunity for retribution. Rejoice, Vagrus. You have been an instrument of the divine, sent here by Segurad himself to aid me in my quest for vengeance. Was there anything else you wanted? Sedaris stands before you, head cocked to the side, blade resting on his shoulder, and waiting your questions. Ask him about the fight. My company was drawn here with the false promise of finding the hideout of enemies of the Empire. Instead, a large group of undead surrounded us, most likely drawn here by some vile trickery, and we had to fight for our lives. You arrived here towards the end of a drawn-out battle and saw my last companion fall. We fought with Surgrod's rage and with the Emperor in our hearts, but there were just too many of the Shamblers. Looking around you, you now realize how savage the confrontation must have been. Dozens and dozens of undead lie all around the field, and only half a dozen Sedaris dead companions. Ask about your companions. My companions lie dead. There's nothing else you need to know, save only that they were all dedicated servants of the Empire who do not flinch in the face of the ultimate adversity. They were all either members of the Church of Surgrod, or my order. I led them here in hopes of hunting down traitors, but they were betrayed in turn. I will not rest until I avenge such treachery. He grits his teeth so hard you're afraid they would crack. There's an unholy light in his eyes for a few brief moments. By the grace of Triumvirate, I now have the opportunity to do so. About your knightly order. The Order of the Black Sun is one of the fulsomest Imperium as you know it. We are adherents of Surgrod and Axul. We are the best of the best, enforcers of the Empire, hunting down criminals and traitors, guarding our great leaders, and leading military operations. This hunt was also one such task we typically undertake. From the way he speaks of the knightly order, it's clear to you that Sedaris is utterly dedicated to it. What are you going to do now? I intend to return to Avernum. I have to debrief my superiors there of what happened today, and I also want to look more into the lead that ultimately brought me here. Sedaris fixes you with his gaze. Your destination does not happen to be Avernum, does it? You can't help but tell him the truth. You're too well aware that lying to one of the Knights of the Black Sun is high treason. It's the first time you see Sedaris' malevolent smile. Good. I shall join you on the journey. Aerophons teaches us to share the burdens of the road. Now tell your men to pile up the bodies of my companions. Burning them without the proper rituals is not becoming such heroes of the Empire, but we have no time for much else. Also, gather all that belongs while you're at it. Make it happen, Vagrus. In the meantime, someone skillful enough should take a look at my wounds. You're about to leave and give the orders when Sedaris calls after you. And just so everyone knows, the danger might still be looming over us. The traitors who I was supposed to find must be around here, keeping a distance. They surely would have finished me off had I managed to conquer all the undead by myself. I doubt they're going to make a move now that you're here, but who knows what their desperation will drive them to. Though your crew does not like to be ordered around by a stranger, they too agree that the slain should be tended to. The pile is burning and the cart line is ready to leave in an hour. Sedaris joined your comitatus. As the comitatus is crossing into the Badlands, you climb onto the cart, where the resting Sedaris is sitting in the back. You can see that he is holding something small in his hands and is observing it attentively. This is a fetish charm, one that the kindly sisters and disciples of Axul use to attract the reanimated dead. The knight tosses you a small bone charm, complete with arcane writing in black ink and some teeth they attach to the centerpiece. I disabled it, do not worry. These filthy traitors may have used a stolen charm to ensnare my contingent, but I still am anointed in the faith of Axul, and I swear they will suffer for this atrocity. You give the charm back to the knight. There's also the matter of the belongings of my fallen comrades. I expect you to hold on to them until we reach Avernum. We will discuss them there. You nod and turn toward the horizon. Whether you like it or not, you're bound to the knight for the next few days to come. I got Surgorite arms.
The Dark Knight joined us after we rescued him from the clutches of the mindless undead horrors that slaughtered his companions. He was a grim sort, displaying no gratitude or companionship. Yet, we were stuck with him, for a lawman such as the Knight could make his dreadful will ours by command. So we set out, bound for Avernum, the greatest city in the vicinity.
Leader management is now active. Alan Rickman. 10 points for Gryffindor. Potions. I mean, I'm kind of imagining it too, honestly, now. He's got that stuck-up kind of like... What's the best way to put it? He's got like a stuck-up kind of like 40k sort of vibe to him. Ah. The leader window allows you to observe and interact with your character, the Vagrus. Your current insight is displayed at the top right. Insight is gained mainly through events and can be used to purchase perks or other improvements for the Vagrus and your companions. Perks are abilities that have levels and are used in various situations. Initial and maximum perk levels, as well as available perks, are specific to each character. Attributes and professions are used in events. You can find more information below about each of these by clicking on their names. You can purchase any number of perks if your insight allows you to by clicking on the empty nodes next to each perk representing its next level. If you want to finalize the changes you made, use the confirm button. You can undo a change by using the revert button. Repair. Do I only have the one perk point? Leadership perks are specific perks to the Vagrus. Then lets you use resourcefulness. Click on the helmet paint. Navigate to the companions. This one. Resourcefulness to each of them. Let's see. Resourcefulness to boost your action in a certain way. Consult descriptions. Resourcefulness allows you to boost various actions. Replenishes each day. Maximum can be raised by spending insight. What you can spend resourcefulness on depends on your unlocked leadership perks. Authority is the maximum number of deputies you can have at any given time. Our authority also makes your companions less likely to abandon you in the open world campaign. You need no additional authority in Pilgrims of the Wasteland. Thanks. Look at this guy. Companions pane allows you to view and manage your companions. Jesus, there's so much in this. Their stats are displayed in the top left. Combat skills on the bottom left. Scroll icon, companions, click to reveal their backstories over here, I guess. Click on the display action to switch over to Morwen. Pendant icon can be clicked to reveal the available gear the companion can be equipped into one of the two slots to gain its benefits. Gear can be unequipped by dragging it back on the list. Gear is shared among all companions, but only one of them can wear a piece of gear at any given time. Equip Morwen with the Luck Talisman. Then click on the laurels at the top of her page. Oh my god, there's so much! There's so much! Prowess window. Prowess the general power of the companion, ranging from 1 to 9. Proficiency points can be spent on upgrading their perks. The main campaign, 3rd, 6th, and 9th can be unlocked as the companion storyline progresses beyond a certain point. Perk description, upgrade Mertman's prowess. Purchase any perks or skills you'd like, then hit confirm. It was tough. Stamina, constitution, willpower and determination, intellect, senses and attentiveness, physical strength, dexterity, agility, charisma. There. Good at everything. Okay. Failure at hunting. The whole Comitatus becomes agitated as a dust cloud appears in the east and starts to move towards you. You give the orders to your crew to prepare for a dust storm. Such a thing is fairly common out here on the borders of the Searing Plains, and you should have little trouble traversing it. After half an hour, the cloud is much closer and now certain that it will cross your path. But then everyone is wearing protective masks or bandanas, and the cargoes and equipment are secured. Javik is riding a large beast of burden, having fastened himself to its back, deep in concentration to maintain the calmness of all your animals with his telepathic skills. But something is off. An uncanny twilight is settling on the broken plains around you. It is much too early for sunset, and the storm itself should not blot out light in such a manner. And then you hear it. Chanting. Chanting on the wind. And a pale light at the heart of the storm heading your way. You can see the faces of the crew slowly becoming distorted in panic. Try to flee as fast as you can. You're about to give the order when Sidarius walks up to you. What is the meaning of this, Vagrus? There's no need for such a desperate act. It is just a dust storm. This is the last pilgrimage. Nonsense. The chance that the pilgrims would show up again, Sidarius trails off as the eerie twilight falls upon the Comitatus, and the dust cloud envelops you all. There's no time to flee or hide, so you signal everyone to draw weapons and to stand at the ready. Some of your crew tremble, some are praying, and some are about to break. But not Sidarius. The knight walks toward the approaching apparition as if being possessed by a death wish. You can see Javik, frowning and sweating in concentration, no doubt trying to combat your beast's instincts to flee in utter terror. In a few moments, you can hear the chanting and see the ghastly pilgrims clearly through the dust curtain. Desiccated forms in faded robes, shuffling along the broken terrain, or rather over the terrain somehow, as if floating at a rapid pace. Their vacant faces are illuminated by a dreadful pale light that emanates from their hollow insides. You're paralyzed by terror. Blurred images enter your mind, visions of a horrid procession of living dead wearing faded robes. You walk among them. You are one of them. Is this the end? Before they could reach you, the spectral pilgrims turn left and head south along a dried-out riverbed without any apparent reason. It takes your mind a few minutes to comprehend that an unusual mercy has just been granted you and your crew. The last pilgrimage marches on, slowly disappearing into the cracked badlands beyond, taking the ghoulish twilight and the dust storm with them. It takes a good few moments for the crew and yourself to come to your senses. Did this truly happen? What was the reason, if any, for the spectral troop to change direction at the last second? How can it be explained that they appeared again after such a short time? So Darius walks over to you looking confident, though you can see he's a bit shaken too. Sir Garod is with us. This is an omen if I've ever seen one. My destiny for retribution against the enemies of the Empire must be the reason why these horrors let us be. You swallow a nod, yet you're not so certain why it happened the way it did. Rest assured, Vagrus, as long as you have me by your side, no harm will come to your comitatus. Remember that. Sidarius walks away, signaling the line to move along. Still rattled, you move along the line, assuring everyone that the danger had passed. The comitatus moving, you join Javik on top of the largest beast of burden, but you barely talk. You've never heard of anyone encountering the last pilgrimage twice. Somehow you do not feel blessed. Haunted, more like. After an hour or two, you and your crew fall back into your travel routines, and tonight all this will seem much less terrifying. In fact, you should be grateful for avoiding certain death at the hands of the accursed things twice in a row. Hopefully, there won't be a third time. You move on towards Avernum. Almost there. It's in sight. Your crew grumbles. It's not a rare thing. It's payment. Perhaps we can still turn things around. Okay. You managed to avert the worst things that come up today. Slaves are, in part, responsible for preparing and handing out food at the end of the day when the comitatus makes camp. Unfortunately, there are a lot of opportunities for error, and being disgruntled, your slaves do slip up. Meals have just not been very savory or nutritious, and this is the night everyone realizes. You and your comas munch on the bad food and grumble about it a lot. Oh, God. Oh! Thank God! The comitatus climbs a broken ridge, and everyone stops for a moment to take in the visage of Avernum, nestled atop and around a range of large hills on the horizon to the southwest. Chimneys of the city's many forges and smelters cast a dark shadow over it, while the lava fields beyond the settlement provide an intense, reddish glow as a backdrop. Several crude roads meander among the hills here, probably leading to the mines and quarries you would pass during the last day or so. Time for us to part ways for a while, Vagrus. The voice of Sidarius makes you jump a little. For a large fellow wearing heavy armor, he managed to creep up on you without a sound. He is standing behind you, gazing at the horizon. I have to make my way into the city alone. My reasons are my own, but before I go, I have a proposition for you. His voice and stature tell you that there's not much point in arguing. You are well aware, of course, that my contingent was betrayed and ambushed out in the wasteland where we met. During our trek back here, I have come to the conclusion that whoever betrayed us had to be someone involved in the investigation I led in Avernum before setting out from the city. Even though I have some ideas where to start looking for traitors, the implications of this despicable betrayal are too severe to attempt to meet it head-on. I require secrecy and guile. Most of our remaining allies in the city and I are too easy to track or recognize, and those responsible could easily make evidence disappear if I am revealed to be alive. Someone else has to provide that guile from us. After a short pause, he looks you in the eye. What I mean is that you, your friend the mage, and the rest of your crew could be vital in finding the culprits and bringing them to justice. The Empire needs your help, Vagrus. What exactly the betrayal implies? It implies people in high places, Vagrus, possibly the highest in Avernum. It may be that officers of no small importance in the city were corrupted, but be not disheartened. Sorgarod teaches us that such vile sin must be rooted, no matter how high it reaches, and no matter the cost. Nevertheless, it must be approached with caution and a certain kind of secrecy that I and my allies do not possess due to our station. No, you know who he reminds me of? I'm not doing the voice right. He reminds me of Saltspire from Vermintide. Not quite as, loud about it, but he definitely gives me the same vibes. Ask him about the investigation. I do not want to say much here. Suffice to say that I was summoned to the city by elements of authorities here. I was to take leading part in a series of investigations into abolitionist activity. Yes, Vagrus, do not be so surprised. Slave lovers. Their despicable activities resulted in a whole group of these ingrates escaping their bonds and devolving into banditry, preying on good citizens of the Empire. In comitati, on people like you and your crew. I and my surgical contingent managed to catch quite a few of them with the aid of local authorities, but the liberated tribe itself was out of our reach, until we found a lead that we followed north to the area where we met. We were supposed to locate their hideout and deal with them in a permanent fashion. The rest is history. For gaining powerful friends. Sidarius seems somewhat surprised, perhaps disappointed even for a brief moment. Then he flashes what passes for a smile on him. Very well, I was indeed nurturing the hope that you'll be willing to aid the Empire in this perilous predicament. We will struggle side by side, just like we did near the Voiceless Lake, Vagrus, and I can assure you, the Order of the Black Sun does not forget loyalty and dedication to the Empire. He slaps you on the shoulder. Now let us part ways and follow my plan. The plan, for now, is to make our ways into Avernum separately, so that you won't be associated with me at all. Rest assured, though, that they do not expect my return, and the traitors would be informed at once had I turned up at the city gates, so I shall have to find an alternate way in. I will send forward for you once I'm settled in. Someone trustworthy shall appear and guide you to my... The next word makes him wince. Hideout. We'll talk about your tasks there. You ask him about the belongings of his former comrades. The knight frowns. That might complicate matters somewhat. He looks thoughtful. Take their holy symbols to the Temple of Sorgarod quietly. You can get rid of the weapons as you see fit, but I forbid selling them at the market. It would draw too much attention to you, and we do not want that for now. Sidarius pierces you with his gaze. I sincerely hope I can trust you with this, Vagrus. Woe betide you if you do not comply. With that, he takes his leave of you and waits as you signal the comitatus to move forward.
Dark omens. Ominous apparitions of an otherworldly covenant of spectres. A grim night out for vengeance. Time and coin running out slowly. Yet against all odds, we journeyed to the city of Avernum on the Smoulderbone Flats. A place bustling with travellers, merchants, and lowlifes. It was supposed to be a short stop on our way east, but we got more than we bargained for.
Yeah, I did it! I made it! God, that was rough. I barely made it! Pilgrims of the Wasteland follows from this point onwards and tells the story of the crew you got to know. After completing that story, you can create your own Vagrus and set out to explore the vast reaches and darkest secrets of the forsaken continent of Zarin. Try the open world campaign now by starting a new game and skipping Agos' story. Purchase or wishlist Vagrus on Steam, and be sure to check out our progress at one of these links. Ah, sick. Like, I would have had to sell all the metal right then because I was completely out of cash and my Comitatus was completely busted. Nobody wanted to be there. Morale was completely shattered. Out of food. Slaves were getting uppity. Nothing I could do. Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, that is Vagrus the Riven Realms. I spent a little longer on that than I expected. Oh, Jesus, that bad? Ugh. Well, I'll keep that on my list. And eventually I'm going to have to free up a day on my schedule. Because right now, like, Right now, pretty much every day except Monday is taken by a long-running series, and Monday is just like, it's its own series, effectively. So, eventually I'm going to try and free up, like, my Fridays or something and just play, like, one-off games on those days. So I'll be able to play this. Yeah, Pathfinder. Okay, so, like, long-running in air quotes, but I mean they're all being series. So Mondays is always MonDEMOS. Tuesdays is currently being Inscription Day. Wednesday, I'm going to be starting Pray for the Gods. Thursday, Sunday is Pathfinder. Friday is currently Demon's Souls. And then Saturday is Prodigal. That also should be finishing up, but we'll see. Fair enough. But like, that's my point, though. I mean, like, currently my schedule is set up so that every day is a new thing that I'm playing that's an ongoing thing. And I just need to set up, like, one day of the week, which is just try out one thing, one game, that's it, let it go. Because I got a lot of games I gotta at least try out. Like, this is one of them, for example. This, or Infra, or... I don't know, there's a lot of things. Anyway. Yeah, so that is Vagrus, the Riven Realms Prologue, which is the demo. You can try that out for free. You can also try out the full game, which... How much is that? How much is Vagrus? Vagrus is $30 on Steam. Thoughts? I definitely see where it's going, although one thing I'm curious about is this has a lot of actual story bits that are tied into the game, right? So there's actually like, okay, this is your character, you have an established backstory connection with this guy, blah, 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 blah. Which I don't think you can really do in an open world version of the game. So you drop any story bits and instead you go for the regular just trading, build up your trading, quote, empire, I guess you could call it. I don't know, it just seems like it's... Yeah, exactly. So, instead of being story-based, it's lore-based. You just explore the world and encounter new things and sort of learn about the world as it goes. Maybe there's some kind of, like, intertwining story things that you can come across, but it's probably not, like, a actual story thing like this. Which is unfortunate, because I think that would also be super cool, but this one seems to be very... Because it's a prologue, it's a tutorial as well, it's also probably very restrictive in what you can actually do. So, I don't know, it's very interesting, but... It's very interesting, but I feel like it would benefit from having an actual campaign in addition to the tutorial, in addition to the open sandbox. That's just my 2 cents. Like, having an actual campaign in this game would be fantastic. Like, make it sandboxy and you have to hit certain goals, but have there be a story, have there be characters, have there be actual things that happen. That would be super cool. Anyway, that's where I'm going to leave that for now. On to the next game. Because like I said, I spent a little bit longer on that game than I wanted to, or I was expecting to. But it's fine, because we finished that part of the demo. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment with the next demo. Alright, so the next game we have on the list is one by the name of MAZEMAN. Alright, have a good rest of your day then. Thanks for stopping by. Anyways, so this game is MAZEMAN. It is a little... I don't know what the best way to describe it is. It's like a sort of dungeon crawly arcade pixel game. It's very easy to play. You need to beat a bunch of levels to get into it. And you get to play as a variety of characters, such as the MAZEMAN, the last heir of a lineage of MAZEMEN. Now the day to fulfill his destiny has come. Today he enters the maze. Also, in MAZEMAN, you must progress through the maze floor by floor. Get the key, then enter the door to the next floor. GMs help you unlock new characters. Oh, right. So the way it works is I actually am not pushing any buttons right now. This is all... It automatically moves wherever you point, so it's kind of like sliding, but you can sort of move in whatever direction you choose. So it's not like you're limited to specific things, just like you auto-walk. And specifically, this character has a special ability where if I press right trigger or whatever, he runs. Anyway, yes. Sorry, my throat's a little raw right now. So, the reason I'm trying this game out is twofold. First, the game does have a free demo, which I tried out previously. This is the full version of the game, but you can still get the demo. The game's only $5 though, so it's very easy to just grab if you want it. Second, the game is made by Beautiful Glitch, the creators of Monster Prom and Monster Camp. And it's just like a little game that they threw out, and it's got a lot of work put into it. Like, it's got a lot of good music, it's got good-looking graphics, it's got a variety of characters. It's just very simple gameplay, and it's just very nice to get into. Press E or spacebar to use your skill. Each character has a different one. Energy pills show your remaining skill uses. Energy orb shows the cooldown to use your skill again. Ah, I see. So the A button is counting as a space here. I'm using a controller is why. So actually, let me just turn this thing off. Next level. The real start. Try the next level. First corridor. Nice. New character unlocked, the Defiant. Skill, she can become invincible for a while. She also starts with a shield and can upgrade it one more level. She's here to make history to show that she's as strong as the men who might have been sent into the maze. She might change the world, but at what cost? Okay, so like, if you see her, she only has 3 uses of her shield or invincibility per level, whereas MAZEMAN can do like however many. And this one is stops time. There we go. Doors open. Oh, that one's okay, that one trails lava. Got it. The Defiant is fixated on her pain. Her powers prevent her from getting harmed, but that leads her to even greater dangers. You're a penitent. Ah, I see. So it's a 3 damage thing. Gotcha. Easy. New character unlocked, the Repenitent. His sword brought death upon too many. Some might it now bring some forgiveness to his soul? Hallway of... I don't remember what that... I actually read that once. Oh, these are monsters. I can actually just kill those, okay. You actually get a lot of uses too. New character unlocked, the Firestarter. Just a guy who's constantly on fire, engulfed in endless pain. Maybe the maze will finally end his eternal despair? He leaves a temporary trail of deadly fire. Ow! Okay. Ah! Can I try that again? Ah! Come on, okay, so I can get this timing. Oh, it just walk. Oh, okay. So with that one, I can just walk through the enemies. There we go. There we go. Wait for it. Excellent. That's all the diamonds. Setting myself by setting myself on fire is not my favorite way of dealing with this. Champion of the explosion. This is just Bomberman, isn't it? This is literally just Bomberman. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Get out of here. Where'd he go? Ah! Oh, okay. Oh, man. Ah. Okay, so I got it. It's tricky. Aha. Okay, I think I know what to do. Get back here. Oh, God. I didn't realize they were on me. Oh no! Oh, come on! He boxed me in! Really? Oh, what was I gonna do there? Come on! Oh, what do I do about that? Wait for it, yep. Oh, come on! This is actually very difficult, okay? I'm not kidding, this is hard. That's 3 hits. Oh, this is very hard. Legitimately. Oh, why does he keeps avoiding me? I also don't get why sometimes I just avoid... Sometimes it avoids the easily available... It avoids, like, the easy path that's right there, for some reason. I don't understand. What do I do about that? He's boxing me in! Like, I keep, no joke, getting boxed in by him. There he is. Oh my god! What do I What?! What was I supposed to do about that? What was I supposed to do about that? I had no recourse. I guess my only option is just be near one of those things. Like, this is my only option. Just stand near one of these things and that'll do it. Where'd he go? Oh my god. God, that was rough. Chasing chamber. Why is the mouse... Oh, didn't even get all the diamonds. Yeah, it's weird that, like... It's honestly weird that there's even a mouse thing here, because I don't think there's anything that's operated using the mouse. Like, nothing uses the mouse. Not control, no nothing. And just whenever the mouse moves, it gets right to the center of the screen. It's very strange. The Sentient Crystal. Sentient Crystal. The hostile creatures roam the maze endlessly, and no one ever questions it. But this crystal seems to have something in its mind. It can shoot enemies to death. Oh, come on. So I want to go down now, and to get this... The hunt. Oh, come on. That's the key. I haven't got any of the gems. Ooh, 2 for 1, nice. Number 2, now where's number 3? There we go. Statuary Garden. Oh, what? Do I just need to... I guess I just need to be far enough away to actually have it work. It's like a stealth mission. Just gotta get through here before anyone turns and spot. Come on. Ah. Let's do this. There we go, easier. Don't even need to worry about it. Don't even need to care. It's all about how you organize yourself. New character unlock the Time Traveler. You can stop time for a while. A wanderer who's traveled through time to enter the maze. Why the maze? What does he know that we don't? But he's still not immune to danger. Bomb building droid model. Ah, this is the Bomberman level, I see. Is there another fire one in here someplace? Oh, God, I ran right into it, literally. I'm stuck? I was stuck! Okay, I just gotta wait for him to get down here now. Oh! This is not a good matchup for this guy, that's for sure. How do I... Man, just come down here so I can kill you easier, dude. Please. Seriously, just get down here so I can kill you. Got him! New character unlocked. Bomb building droid model 6. A robot that has been built to bring destruction upon the maze. Who created it? Why is the maze's destruction so important to it? It plants bombs that detonate after some time. That's not gonna work. Ah! Oh, okay. But they still declared war on everyone, right? Like that wasn't a mistake, right? Like the city still did declare war on everybody. Alright. I'm gonna leave that one there for now. It's not Bomberman, it's MAZEMAN. So, let's go back to the main menu for this one. I'm ready to float. Hey, you know what? Let's do one more. Let's do one more. God, there's a lot of them. 180? 250? There's a lot in here. Oh my god, I ran right into that. Okay. Wait, there's another diamond in here someplace, but where is it? It must be over this way. And I'm out of things. It's unfortunate. There we go. Alright, level 20 complete. So. Like I said, that has been MAZEMAN. There is a free demo for this game. It's a very cut down in comparison. I think it's like just like 10 levels sort of selected from different locations, and you only get a handful of characters. So, for $5, I can't really say much bad about it. It is a very simple game. It's very quick to play through. You just like, you can hop in and play a couple levels. I went through 20 in about 30 minutes. So yeah, so it's $5. There is a free demo if you want to try that out. A lot to unlock. And of course, you can go back through the levels and try to do leaderboard stuff. So I can actually, like, see here, leaderboards. Yeah, so you got, there's where I am. I'm 34 on the list, because I guess not many people have gotten to this point. No gems. I don't know what these buttons do, because they don't seem to be changed. Okay, this is top. This is where I am. That's all gems. And this is no gems. So you get a little bit of challenge there if you want to try and climb with the leaderboards. Now, I will say two things about this. First, the controls are a little finicky at times. Like, I don't know why it's finicky, because it's very simplistic, but you don't have, like, chunks. You don't have specific squares on which everything exists. You can exist on half pixels, or half squares, and your pixels can move them down to that, but sometimes the controls don't respond as well as you'd want to. Like, I have a feeling it's probably a situation that would be better suited if you just move over, like, one space, or, like, you set it so that everything moves on specific spaces, which might also make it more interesting to play. Because right now, if I'm trying to avoid something, I can just flicker back and forth between a pixel very rapidly, and I don't have to worry about hitting, like, a bomb that's going off nearby. So if you set it to squares, I would actually have to sort of plan myself around where I'm moving, watch out for bombs and other traps that are incoming, so I'm not just able to just dodge everything that's timed by just standing in one space and flickering back and forth while everything moves on a full block. Additionally, I think, I can't verify this, but I think what's happening is the game checks on your position based on, like, your last move, and you can, if you buffer an input, like, let's say normally if you're playing, like, Link's Awakening or something, or, like, an old school Zelda game that has everything on a grid. If you are moving to the left, and you push up, it'll move you to the left and then move you up one square, even if you're, like, still in the animation or if you haven't actually left the initial square yet. In this game, I think what's happening is as long as you're moved and you're counted as being in that other square, it won't buffer your inputs properly. Which has caused me a bit of an issue where I was, like, trying to move in those tight corners during that first bomb fight, which meant that I was just doing that. No, the developer does not have any connection with Bomberman. That is Konami. This is Beautiful Glitch, creators of Monster Prom and Monster Camp and associated monster things. But yeah, no, they don't have any connection with Bomberman. That's why it's bomb-making robots. But it's very, it has a lot of, like, inspiration being taken from Bomberman, definitely, in the way everything moves and the levels are laid out and how the power-ups work. But that's basically my big gripe about that. The second gripe is that while the levels are very quick to get through, they just kind of jump one to one to one to one to one. it feels like it's very weird. It's designed to be very pick up and play, but I don't know. It's designed to be very pick up and play, so you can just slap into a level. But there's also these unlocks that you actually have to like grind out stuff for, which is weird. Oh, and also the mouse. I don't know why the mouse even gets counted in there because it's just showing up in the middle of the screen. Part of that is on me because I do have mouse capture turned on for OBS, but another part of it is just like, why is the mouse even getting drawn to the center of the screen? It just kind of shows up there for no reason. Having the ability to do stuff would be nice with the mouse. The fact that it's actually a mouse-driven game, despite never using the mouse and being almost entirely keyboard-based, and really, like, only having one button apart from the arrow buttons is really weird. That's mouse-driven, and also the fact that like it doesn't support controller. So that's a very odd one. I feel like let me take a look at this. I have a feeling this is. I feel like this would be really good on mobile as well. Maybe not that great since you'd have to balance it for a smaller screen, but it would fit perfectly on there as well, given that it has a very, very, very minimal control scheme. I don't know, the control's a little bit weird, which is very odd for a game this simple. Anyway, that's MAZEMAN. So, like I said, it's only $5. So, even with all those things I'm saying about it, there's not really a whole lot I can say that's, like, bad. Yeah, like virtual buttons for skills. And left-handed mode. Hey, look. Let's take a look at this real quick. Look right there. See? Look at this. Just turn it into a mobile game. Honestly. I would not be shocked if this showed up on phones. It seems like a decent game for that. But just, it feels weird at times. But like I keep saying, it's $5 and it has free demo, so there's really not a whole lot of weight my things carry. It's got fun pumping music, it's got interesting little character designs, it looks pretty. It just feels a little weird, but for $5, that's easily forgivable. If you just want to have something to like quickly pop in and play a little arcadey sort of dungeon crawly kind of games. So yeah, check that one out. I'm going to move on to the next game, though, that I have listed for my demos. And I probably will not be able to do more than that one because Vagrus took a lot of time. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, hold on a second. It's not capturing, right? Okay, let's see. Is it gonna... It's another one of those games I have to do in window capture. No, it's not showing up there. Okay. Maybe settings... There we go, that works. I'll just have to do this in a windowed mode. Alright, back to settings. Alright. So, next game we're taking a look at here is one called Dead Estate. Oh, was that the... That's the thing you mentioned a while back, like the book series, right? So, Dead Estate is a... Oh god, this game doesn't have mouse... has controller support either, does it? Okay. Oh boy, guess we're not doing it with the mouse. Guess we're doing it with mouse keyboard again. Yeah. I remember you mentioned it. Alright. So yeah, this is Dead Estate. This is a... Interesting. This is recently released. It came out middle of October. And it's a roguelike with like an isometric kind of weird... You'll see in a second. Where you play as a character inside... I think so, yeah. Zombies or monsters, it's unclear.
Great.
Yeah.
Move fast and jump high, but his lower health starts with a nice shotgun.
Great.
Weird why it does that. Very high base health, but low agility starts with a basic handgun. Let's play with you then. Too young to die.
Let's get moving.
Let's get moving. How long will I last? Good question. So yeah, you've got this really funky looking... You got this really funky looking aesthetic with like this sort of isometric view. I got a little jump. I can jump. Oh, check out the map on the bottom as well. I really dig that. I mean, RE vibes in terms of the sort of level aesthetic, although there is a bunch of bombs over here. But like in terms of gameplay and like how this actually looks, not really. So I got 20 money, I got the map down there, I got a weapon, which is this handgun. Aha, key! It's probably a dungeon boss. I mean, yeah, but so are a lot of things. Just because it's got an estate with monsters doesn't make it an RE village. An RE, thing. That's like saying if it's got dragons and dungeons, it's a Dungeons and Dragons game. Oh, jeez. Hi. What's over here? Welcome! Yeah, all the blood just splattered around. There's got a lot of good details in this game, though. It's really cool. I like this.
What if I knew someone was coming in?
Wow. You have 155 bucks. A polisher. Bullets travel faster. That gun of yours looks like it could use a good cleaning. Paycheck. Obtain a bonus coin every time you break a pot or kill an enemy. Weird you have to pay for a paycheck, isn't it? Mercury Blob. Gold coins never drop, but silver coins become worth more. Map. Reveals the entire map of the current floor. Ambrosia. Fully heals you upon buying or picking it up. I'm gonna save it for the paycheck, I think. Oh, jeez. Jesus Christ, there's so much blood. Hello. Chunks take longer to move between rooms. What's that? What does that mean? Oh, I'm so close. I'm so close. Oh, geez, hi.
What? If I knew someone was coming in.
Great choice. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so we got a room over to the left side. I wonder what's in there. Ooh. Auto shotgun. Press and release shift to swap between them, so I can swap between my pistol, which has infinite ammo, or shotgun, which only has 80 shots. Or I can hold shift to destroy them. The fuck was that noise? Oh, I got 124 coins already. Very nice. I should go see the witch again before I leave for the next floor, perhaps.
Oh. Oh. Good luck.
Here we go. There goes the door. Coagulated Fury Ultra Claw. How long are you going to take to die? Oh, jeez. Okay, looks like pistol's actually the better choice here. Surprisingly. Nice. Ground floor. Cleared! Try to clear out the floor before chunks appear. Ah. Upper story, huh? Blood mage! Wow, this shotgun kind of sucks. My pistol's way better. Oh, jeez. What the hell? Wait, is this thing doing 2 damage? No, I just didn't pick up this heart. What on earth? Come on. Oh, thank God. I didn't realize if I just hold down the button, it shoots. Oh God, we got ghosts. We got ghosts. I mean, on occasion, yeah. It's always about presentation. It's all about how you present it. If you have something super cutesy, then if you present it in the right way, it can still be terrifying. Auto grenade launcher. Oh, that's trash. Maybe if it hits on impact, that'll be good. Or if it explodes on impact. Huh. Oh, that's gonna be a money pot, isn't it? Yeah, baby! Eye drops. Increase accuracy. Yes, please. Oh, I see. This thing's just to hit you if you try jumping. That's what it is. I was wondering what this thing was for. Oh, Christ. Get over here. There we go. Key. Very nice. Yeah, exactly. No. Look. It's one thing to have a grenade launcher just lying around. It's another thing to have a grenade launcher lying around in a house full of haunted monsters and shit. One of those things is much more curious than the other. That must be a chunk. What? What? Who the fucking... What the fuck? Oh, he takes no damage. He takes 0 damage. Yes.
Hello there.
Oh. Milkbar last shirt. The light around you becomes much larger. Move faster and slow down nearby enemies while at 1 HP. Increase maximum health and jump height. Of course it does. Whoa! Where the fuck did you come from? That's not cool. take that! Oh, come on. Don't give me that. Oh my... Oh god, what? That's not fair. That's not fair. How much health does this thing have? Oh, come on! Yeah, I think Chunks is probably not a species. Better luck next time. Start over. Alright, let's try the other one out. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Is that sound effect just someone going...
Yeah. I call shotgun.
Don't give up without a fight. That's the plan. Yeah, he did. Oh my god, she only has 4 health to start. She's faster, it looks like, but she only has 4 health. Which I guess is because instead of being able to kite things around, you're able to just get up close and then back away. Kind of like that. Lead gut. Ammo drops heal you instead of giving you ammunition. That doesn't seem like a very good ability, I'm gonna be real. That witch has gotta be...
Ouch.
Oh, come on. That witch has gotta be around here someplace. There she is. Yeah, I suppose. You mean like high damage but low health as well? Let's see what we got over here. Super machine gun. More powerful version of a machine gun that fires a little slower. Let's try it out. Hi.
Hello there.
Double slurp cup. Bullets travel faster and splash blood on impact. Standard bullets do more damage. Increase your maximum health.
Goodbye.
I have to take that one. Now I have 6 as opposed to 4. Okay. So I got the key. Doors this way. Yeah. Who are we fighting this time? It's the same thing as before. Man, that machine gun really cleaned up. Shame I don't have the ability to get ammo now. You mean the magic missiles? Ground floor cleared. Tip: the full game has over double the content. Go. Well, I found the boss already, so that's something. Oh, right, that's right, gotcha, of course. Whoops. I keep clicking off by accident, because there's a slight problem with this game where it doesn't capture in OBS nicely. So I had to set up for window capture by turning off full screen, but now it doesn't... I click off on occasion, because the screen's actually quite small. Killing enemies recently reset your weapon's reload time? This thing has reload? Huh. Okay, that's what it does. So if I had a very strong gun, I could just fire the shotgun instantaneously. Like, watch. That thing's just going around. Also, I'll take that heart. Thank you. Okay. I have 400 money. Eye drops increases accuracy. Chance your enemies to explode on death. Item chests will contain weapons instead. None of this is useful. Key. Maybe one of these days I'll find a heart, too. Oh, that one actually had a heart on it. Like, sometimes these things have different icons, which I think might give you different items. Oh god, he's here. Machine gun. I'll take the super machine gun. Okay, it's boss time. Where are you? It's the Eye. Idol of Worship Leviathan Egg? Oh, okay. Oh my god, that's a lot of guys. Well, I'm out of gun. Well, so much for that. Nice. Upper story. Cleared. You can destroy weapons by holding shift, of course. Well, I'm out of ammo for that gun anyway, so whatever. What on earth? You know, the shotgun's actually not bad now that I'm getting used to it. And now that I know that I don't have to hold buttons down, or that I don't have to click constantly to hit things. What on the whole? Hi!
Ouch!
Oh, come on. Oh, it's just a trap. Got it. Chest. Knockback. Seems good. Second gun. What are we going to get? Billiard ball. Set of fast-moving, multicolored balls that can be thrown one after the other. Yeah, why not? Oh god, bunnies! Those bunnies really actually did a lot of damage to me. A heart? So I gotta hit the heart, I guess. Yeah, that's what I thought. Meat cube! Come on. Okay. Gotta get out of here. Other way now. Oh, God. They're guarding it. Thank you. Okay, empty room. What? What the? Okay. Oh god, he's here. Come on. There we go.
Ouch!
Really? I need the ambrosia.
What if I knew someone was coming in?
Lights around you become larger. Move faster. That's...
Good luck.
Here we go. Let's see how these billiard balls do. Probably not very well, but we'll find out in a second. The fragile fool. Hero. Hero, rather. I've already almost gone through all the ammo for this thing. Got him. Did it. Yeah, well, most people do. Attic sanctum cleared. Tip, enjoy the demo. Thanks. I found out apparently that the clown hate, or the fear of clowns. Get ready for the full game. Yeah. I actually found out that apparently fear of clowns is like strictly Western. It doesn't exist in Asian countries, which is weird. Alright, so that was the full run. Only 3 levels in the current game, of course. But that is, once again, Dead Estate. So, the game is currently available on Steam. It came out, like I said, middle of last month. It's $15, has a free demo, and there are a bunch of different guns. For example, I'm looking at one on the Steam page right now, which has a laser cannon? Laser shotgun? There's other NPCs, besides just the witch. There's other locations, lots of other guns, different events. Yeah, definitely worth checking out if you're interested in like a little weird little isometric roguelike. I personally think it's pretty neat. And like they updated it just on Halloween, of course. Of course they did. Why wouldn't they not update it on Halloween? But yeah, very interesting little game. Definitely recommend checking that one out. Demo's not very long, so you can just run through it once or twice with each of the characters just to see how it is. I imagine there's probably more difficulty options in full game as well, instead of just easy and normal. Yeah. Very cool little game. Anyway, that is where I think I'm going to leave that for today. Just about out of time for that. But that is, again, the demos for today. So, we only went through, what, 3 of them? Did Vagrus, did MAZEMAN, and did this, Dead Estate. Vagrus, very interesting game. Gonna need to take a longer look at that one. MAZEMAN, odd little thing, but also only $5, so can't really fault it for any of its faults. And this one, 15. Nice little middle point. Literally right in the middle. Fun little isometric roguelike. Controls well. Only thing I would say kind of controls oddly is that you can get yourself stuck into a corner very easily. Where, like, if you try and move left and right when you're in a corner, then you might not leave. Like, it doesn't push along the walls, which happened to me in that one boss fight just then, where I was trying to, like... It happened to me against the egg, specifically. I was trying to avoid it by moving left or right, but I had backed myself into a corner, so instead of sliding along the wall, I just kind of was stuck in the corner until I moved forward. Other than that, needs to add real controller support, because that's a little weird that it's missing. And that's really about it. Can't think of anything else they need to do on this, just besides adding more content, more levels, etc., etc., etc. Usual update schedules for roguelikes. More characters. Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Anyway, that is where I'm going to leave that one for today. As always, thanks for coming out. Thanks for checking out the game with me. The games, I should say. Thanks for checking out the games with me. I'll be back tomorrow with Inscription. Might even finish Inscription. I'm excited about that. That game is wild. And, yeah. Next week, more demos as per usual. Once again, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the game with me. Enjoy the rest of your day. And see you next time.